Is it too late to start a YouTube channel? Many people will think that, oh, you are way too late to starting a YouTube channel and now it's way too saturated. So in this video, I want to answer the question, is it really worth your time to start a YouTube channel in 2026? A lot of the advice surrounding YouTube is that best time to start was 10 years ago. That was when Mr. Beast started, and the second best time is now. But my argument is that really the best time is now, and it's actually never been easier in order to start a YouTube channel. Because everyone thinks that, hey, like the best time to start YouTube was when there was no competition. But the reason that there was no competition was because there were no tools, right? A lot of the editing tools were very primitive back then. There were no AI tools, right? There was no good education around YouTube. But these days, if you start in 2026, you have Claude at your disposal, right? There's all of these crazy different automations that you can make with Claude and Claude Cowork these days. You have Subscriber, right? There's YouTube tools out there, right? vidIQ, 1 of 10, Subscriber, all of these YouTube tools that give you all this wealth of YouTube data that have been scraped throughout the history of YouTube as to what is working that you can use and go ahead and make YouTube videos right now. And there's a bunch of YouTube videos, including the videos that you are watching on this channel, that gives really great YouTube advice that you can act on immediately, right? 10 years ago, that wasn't actually the case. You didn't have the tools, you didn't have the information in order to grow a YouTube channel. And really the variables in terms of what makes a winning YouTube channel hasn't changed a ton, right? A lot of it comes down to, can I get the click from the viewer? Can I get the click from the right viewer? And can I get them to watch the video from start to finish? YouTube has stayed the same, the YouTube UI stayed the same, and a lot of these principles have stayed the same. The only difference is the wealth of information out there right now. And if you think that because there is a wealth of information out there and that there are a bunch of these tools that can help you grow on YouTube, that means it's now more oversaturated and more competitive than ever. I want to really, give you this visual, right? As of early 2026, YouTube has approximately 2.54 billion monthly active users compared to 65.8 million active creators. So 65.8 million active creators, these are the number of people who are making content versus 2.54 billion monthly active users, okay? And just as a visual over here, right? Let's say this is like 1% visual, it looks like a 0% visual, this is a 1% visual compared to all of the people who are watching YouTube. About less than 1% of people are actually out there making YouTube videos out of the number of people who are actually viewing it, right? And if you think about, there's just like 1 to 2% of people who are actively making YouTube videos, how many of them are hobbyists? How many of them actually know what they're doing? The answer is very, very few percentage of them. So if you are in the tiny percentage who knows what they're doing and actively posts every single week, daily, monthly, whatever the cadence is, you are already very ahead of the majority of people who are these hobbyists who have no idea exactly what they're doing. And really, I believe that this question of, hey, is it too late to start on YouTube? This question stems from, is it worth it from an ROI standpoint? Am I gonna ROI from starting a YouTube channel? Or am I actually gonna benefit from starting a YouTube channel? And almost always, the answer is surprisingly no, because many people will do it for a little bit, they won't stick with it, and then they won't actually get any results, and ultimately they will fail. But in reality, if you stick to it for a long enough time, for a consistent long enough time, you will reap the rewards of being the 0.1% of people who actually create content actively on YouTube. So I would personally argue that the opportunity is more abundant than ever. And if you're ever questioning, hey, is it really worth my time in order to start a YouTube channel? The very first thing that you have to do is to define your mission. So before you start, you must define your underlying why. So you need to clarify your objective. You need to answer the question, hey, are you building a business, cultivating a hobby, or seeking financial freedom? When you are very honest with yourself as to what the exact outcome is that you want to get out of this, you are much more likely to stick to it and you're much less likely to give up. You need to understand your drive, right? You need to understand why you specifically want to achieve this outcome on YouTube. It could be to quit your job. It could be to make an additional $100,000 a month for your business. It's very important to identify what your drive is. And then the third step is to eliminate distractions. So when you clearly define this one core mission, external doubts and technical obstacles become entirely irrelevant because this mission is bigger than yourself. Ideally, this mission has three components to it. It is the I, we, and the all. The I is exactly how this YouTube channel or why this specific new thing that you are starting will benefit you. So that's the I. The we is how it benefits your community. So let's say you have a community of salespeople, or you have a community of, single moms who need help taking care of their kids. Once you understand that, hey, your mission does not only encompass yourself, it also encompasses your community, and you want to think about, hey, how it has an impact on the general world at large, right? And when you are very clear on exactly who you are serving on an I, we, and all capacity, all the external doubts and technical obstacles become irrelevant because your mission becomes more important than yourself. It's not just you that your YouTube channel is serving, which a lot of people will do. It's the impact that it's gonna make on your specific community and on the world at large. So that will eliminate all of your distractions and allow you to stay laser focused on this mission. And the fourth step is to ensure longevity. So it's a well-defined mission, prevents burnout, and keeps you creating during slow growth periods, right? Because YouTube is very often like this. If any of you have started a YouTube channel, YouTube channels, grow, get a ton of views, and then sometimes see a downtrend, right? That is actually totally normal. And sometimes that is totally to be expected, right? But it is important to understand that, hey, a well-defined mission prevents burnout and allows you to keep going through these periods because you will understand that this mission is bigger than yourself, and it's paramount that you go ahead and tackle it every single day. So before you start a YouTube channel, before you even decide like, hey, should I even post my first video, define your underlying why. Because really your mission is bigger than your struggle, right? And success requires an anchor. When your mission is bigger than yourself, bigger than your daily struggles, and bigger than your specific knowledge gaps, that is when true success becomes inevitable. The technical skills can be learned, the algorithms can be studied, but the internal drive to push through internal friction must come from a mission that demands to be realized. When your mission is super duper clear and you have something that you're going after every single day, the question no longer becomes, is it too late to start a YouTube channel? The question then becomes, when will I start my YouTube channel? And if that's not today, I don't know when that will be. But hopefully this is helpful for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.